am sick of midi lengths.
Alexis Sunshine 83, it's always sunny here. Boop.
Hey Sunshiners, Alexis Sunshine 83 right here. So today I'm going to be sharing my unpopular fashion opinions. A couple of weeks ago, honestly probably only 2 weeks ago, I had made a video reacting to your unpopular fashion opinions, and today it is all me, baby. Although in that video technically I did then also give my opinion, but these are, I mean, I think they're unpopular, maybe they are not. You can let me know in the comments down below if you agree or disagree. Everyone has different opinions when it comes to fashion and style, and no way is right or wrong. It's just personal to you. So obviously if I say anything that you don't feel the same, that is okay. This first one I don't think is necessarily unpopular. I just feel like what it is about is very polarizing. You're either 100% in love with it or 100% hating it. And I feel like for a while I was hating it, and then, you know, maybe it's because I saw it a bunch of times, which are Tabi shoes. And gosh, maybe like a year ago I had talked about it and like how I hated them, and I think I called them like camel toe shoes, and somebody very angrily in the comments was like, you can't even say the right word of what they are called. Well, up until that point, I had never heard anyone ever like properly talk about the Tabi shoes, and now I follow multiple people that have them. So maybe it's me being a little bit influenced, but I like them. I think they're fun. I think they have personality, especially because a lot of them come in very like simple colors like black, white, cream, but it's just like that extra touch that is so fun. And I'm really interested to see, because I think they are trendy and popular, but not to the point where like fast fashion brands are, or maybe they are, I just haven't seen any where they're making a knockoff or a copy. And I've never personally tried them on, so I don't know if I would actually like them on or not, but it's like an unsettling image that is satisfying and I love. There's this place of like, it's ugly, but like it's ugly in a cute way, especially the sneaker ones. I get it. I do get it. I would be totally down to own like a ballet flat of them. I don't know if I ever will because they're like $800, but I would be down if they ever came into my possession. This next unpopular opinion, I feel like most sustainable brands are just really boring in regards to fashion. Like I feel like there aren't really that many, or at least that I've seen, that are like interesting. I feel like most of them are just basics. Again, not all of them, but I'm just so tired of just seeing sustainable and ethical brands just have basics. It's like, come on, like we don't need another basics like sustainable and ethical brand. I mean, this is obviously talking about like proper bigger brands, but I feel like smaller sustainable brands are the ones that are doing the interesting stuff. So I'm not talking about them, I'm talking about, I guess, like some of the bigger ones. I just feel like they all look the same. Not saying that they need to obviously be a part of, you know, trends and the trend cycle. And also I understand that like more, you know, timeless pieces of being basics are going to make it so, you know, they don't go out of style, but it's like, come on. I'm currently looking for sustainable and ethical like swimsuits, and it was so difficult to find cute swimsuits to buy. I am gonna be making a video of those swimsuits, but it was like a challenge to find something other than a solid color, which, like, yes, a solid color bathing suit, amazing, but sometimes it's like, I want something a little fun, you know, just a little bit more exciting. This one is going to be, I think, very particular to each person, but I think Maxi skirts and dresses are more superior than midi skirts and dresses. To me, I'd rather something be mini or maxi. I am sick of midi lengths. Now I do have pieces obviously that are midi lengths, and I don't like hate them. It's not that I hate the length. I would just rather something be maxi or a mini. It's the in-between where like, maybe it's just me because I have longer legs that I just hate the gap of like a little bit under my knee and like my ankle. I'm like, I just feel awkward with then wearing sneakers. Like I'd rather just it be a longer skirt. I think because it's such a struggle to find maxi skirts at the thrift store specifically, I don't know why. They're just like always gone and it's always midi. I feel like in 2018 is when midi lengths became like super big. Maybe they always were, but I don't know. I just feel like specifically 2017 and 2018, it was all of a sudden like midi lengths are the it length. I personally don't like dressing for your body type rules. And I'm saying this in that I understand that for some people it's super helpful and I think that's completely great, but I feel like sometimes it's followed so strict and also just like puts these rules on, you know, the way that your body looks and what you can and can't wear. And I don't like that. Obviously, I think for yourself, you may know certain cuts that you prefer over others. Again, that's why I can see like dressing for your body type could be helpful if you just like are trying to find your style and you're trying to figure out, you know, what makes you feel more comfortable than, you know, another style. I mean, you could probably say maybe me liking a maxi skirt versus a midi skirt is because of my body type. I don't know. I don't really want to know. There's almost this emphasis on making sure that what you're wearing is the most flattering. And it kind of goes into what society thinks is most flattering versus what you actually enjoy wearing. Of course, you may wear the outfit that is considered the most flattering and it's the one that makes you the happiest. Like, that's totally great. I would much rather focus on when I put on clothing, like what it looks like in the mirror to me and what makes me feel comfortable versus what my actual body looks like, and focusing again on, you know, wearing something that's the most flattering. And of course, if I'm using the example of a crop top, there's so many different lengths of crop tops, especially like sleeves and stuff. And I don't think you should just go look at, oh, this is my body type, this is the type of crop top I should wear, but instead try different crop tops and find what makes you feel good. And even when I'm talking about like, oh, I don't like this particular piece or style on my body, I'm not saying it's because of like my body type. I just don't like it on me personally. This one, I feel like it could go either way on how people feel. And that is, I wish companies, specifically fast fashion companies, would stop making eco lines, because 99% of them are not actually eco or sustainable, and it's just greenwashing. I feel like H&M has kind of dived into that a little bit, where they'll say that a lot of different clothing items are made like sustainably, although I think they are in some sort of like law issue because of like falsely claiming that. And I just would rather fast fashion companies either go like all the way or not at all. It's confusing for consumers when they think like, wow, this brand really cares. They made an eco line. I'm gonna buy the eco line to show that that is what I want, when it usually isn't actually then eco and it's just a selling ploy. I wish, like I truly wish that them making eco lines is a like step in the right direction. Like, I think in the beginning I started seeing brands do that and be like, wow, like they care, they're doing something. But as we have seen, it's only because people care about that kind of stuff now and they want money. Trying to figure out what is sustainable and what's not sustainable is very confusing, and it's very frustrating. Again, as I've been trying to find sustainable and ethical swimsuits, I don't even know if the ones that I've bought are actually sustainable and ethical, because I feel like you literally need a degree to understand what these companies are saying and if it's actually truthful or not, and how to even like double check if it's truthful or not. I feel like fast fashion brands really like prey on that aspect, and even with sustainability pages, like you look at it and you're like, wow, like they are doing stuff. And I'd rather just fast fashion brands just be like, yeah, we don't care. When it comes to fashion inspiration, I feel like the best way for me to like get actual fashion inspiration is from Instagram, which I feel like a lot of people have been like not liking Instagram. I mean, for many reasons, especially when it comes to like actually putting posts in chronological order, but I feel like it's the best place to get fashion inspiration, because when it comes to following someone, even though it's not necessarily like in chronological order, I just find it easier to go back to their page versus on TikTok. On TikTok though, I usually just go on my For You page, so I could go on my like people I follow, but even then, like, I don't even know who I follow. Whereas on Instagram, I know who I follow. It's a little bit harder to find people, I will say. A lot of times what I do is if I find a creator on TikTok that I really like, I just try to find their Instagram and I'm able to keep up with their outfits, their postings, and I feel like you get a better sense on someone's personal style that way. You see them rewear pieces. A lot of times on TikTok, it very much is like, how many outfits can I make with multiple clothing? And then you a lot of times aren't seeing that same creator over and over again that you follow. Instead, you're getting multiple different creators. And for me, could be personal, but it makes me want to spend more money and buy more things because I'm seeing like just so many different outfits, and which again can be good, but I feel like it doesn't help me really get a sense on curating a personal style because it's someone new every time I swipe. It feels a little bit more personal because, you know, I learn more about the person, I learn more about what they do, how their fashion implements into their life. Also, trying to look at outfits on TikTok sometimes, it just goes too fast. It goes too fast. I'm like, I just want a photo to look at so I can get like the full thing. I feel like a lot of you may be surprised also by the fact that I said Instagram versus Pinterest. And as much as I love Pinterest, and again, they're photos, so kind of a similar thing, I find that I then just keep pinning the same stuff that I like, which there's nothing wrong with that. But when I'm like really wanting good, different outfit inspiration, I would rather go on Instagram, because on Pinterest a lot of times I do just want to copy and paste, and I don't know if it's because I don't know who the person is and I just get inspired in a different way, not in a bad way, but like just in a different way. Usually when I'm doing, you know, recreating Pinterest outfits, I do take from my closet as much as I can, but I feel like a lot of times my instinct, kind of similar with TikTok, is to then just like go out and try to like thrift that item, because I end up pinning a lot of stuff that I really, really want, but I don't have. And I don't really pin stuff that I currently own all the time. I mean, sometimes I do, but I just feel like also it's a lot easier to find different types of people on Instagram versus Pinterest. And even when Instagrammers like also post their TikToks on Instagram, I don't know, I usually then watch them more. It's just easier to keep up with them. Maybe I'm just like a super millennial and I'm just dumb or something. Something I realized recently when I was at the thrift store is kitten heels, and specifically these types of kitten heels, are just as uncomfortable and difficult to walk in than like proper high heels. And my feet are very flat. I have absolutely no arch, so high heels are like, I cannot do them. Like a slight heel, maybe, but that's why I prefer platforms, because then it's all high up. But super high heels, my foot literally cannot do. As kitten heels started to become more popular again, I was like, ooh, I really like kitten heels, like I'm totally into this. And then I was at the thrift store like 2 weeks ago and I tried on some kitten heels and they were so cute, but my goodness, I was gonna fall. It was not sturdy whatsoever. I think a kitten heel with like a good block on the back is the way to go, but this like tiny little heel is just terrible. I am really happy I tried them on. Number one, so I didn't thrift them because I would have never worn them, but also number two, it made me realize that I do not like those kinds of shoes and I don't understand how people walk in them. It makes me upset that I can't walk in them because it seems like it would be the perfect type of shoe for me as someone that can't wear high heels, but no, they are terrible. Something that I feel like we all hear all the time is like, if you have confidence in what you're wearing, then like you're good, or like people will, I don't know, like the outfit because you're confident in it. But honestly, I don't think an ugly outfit exists. Of course, I've talked about like, it's so ugly that it's cute. That's like something different, but I'm talking about like, I don't think, especially maybe it's because of, following so many different types of creators with different style, I've been able to hear like why they are putting something together, or just like their excitement about an outfit that if I had just seen by itself, I would have been like, oh, that's ugly. Like, how could somebody wear that? Like, what is that? And I've really just I'm way more open to different styles now, even styles that I personally would never wear, that I like don't like on me. Seeing other people so excited and that it just lights up their face has made me realize that like there truly is no ugly outfit. I guess this kind of goes back to when I was saying about like your body type and all that. It all comes down to what you feel like in your clothes and how they make you feel. Obviously, what you think is cute and not cute is very personal to you, but I think regardless if I think something is cute or not, if the person is happy to wear it, like that's all that matters. This one, actually somebody had submitted when I did the other Unpopular's opinion video, but I also agreed with it, which is secondhand items should be priced based on the item and the quality and not on the brand. I feel like a good example of this is when I did my iGirl mystery box. A lot of times they like put into like consideration with the price that you paid, which was like $350, that the items that they're putting in the mystery box are from like vintage brands, really like well-known brands that if they were being resold, they would be at quite a higher price. So they would total the amount that you're paying for the mystery box, or that you're getting a discount with getting it in a mystery box. And with those items, like they weren't that great of quality, and I personally did not feel comfortable with trying to honestly resell any of them for over $10, whereas maybe a proper reseller would have been able to sell them for a lot more, but I don't think they would have been worth that. Even thrift stores, I feel like, have recently been doing this, where there will be an item that's from, you know, any name brand. Honestly, it can even be a fast fashion name brand, but they know it's a popular fast fashion brand, so they'll put it at a higher price when it's like not even in good condition either. This one I feel like could be a like rabbit hole, so I'm not gonna go like super in depth to it because it could just be a little bit messy. But I don't think all resellers are bad. There's a lot of, you know, rhetoric, especially on TikTok, of people like hating resellers, seeing people at the thrift store buying stuff to resell and just like saying that they are the scum of the earth. And obviously I understand, especially when it comes to the pricing. If you are getting a piece for $5, you're selling it for $100 or more. Again, talking about pricing with Depop of like what they take out, like that's a whole other thing. But I don't think that they are all bad, in that a lot of times you're then able to find pieces on Depop, Poshmark, eBay, like Vinted, all of that, that you wouldn't have been able to find maybe at your thrift stores, or maybe you don't even have any thrift stores by you. I feel like it's like, how do you be an ethical reseller? Like, what does that even mean to be an ethical reseller? And a lot of vintage stores especially, and resellers as well, will go to like dedicated rag houses where you have to even have a resale license to go there, and it's just like piles of clothes. So a lot of times they don't even go to the thrift stores. I mean, I talk about all the time when I go to the Goodwill outlet that there are many resellers. A lot of them can be very mean, I won't lie. Honestly, I feel like some of the worst like resellers, a lot of times they're like the Depop boys. I think also another great thing about kind of reselling is if you are looking for a very specific item in a very specific size, and maybe you've gone thrifting multiple times and you just can't find it. I feel like for a lot of people, they then would, you know, just buy it new, but being able to then maybe try to find it on, again, any of the reselling apps, you would be able to find it secondhand. Not always, I feel like sometimes even that, it's still like a struggle to find, but it makes it easier to then possibly find it secondhand. And again, to filter by your size and measurements and brand and color and all of that. Again, I understand there's another side of it, but I think in general, like looking at reselling, I don't think it's a bad vein, a lot of times can put those items in homes where they maybe would have ended up in a landfill. I just feel like a lot of the conversation around resellers is just so resellers are bad and that is it. And I think there can be positives from it. Alrighty, thank you all so much for watching. Thanks for letting me have a more kind of chill video for this week. Originally I was going to make a styling video, but it is raining. I just got back from Canada. I didn't pre-film anything, so I just, you know, I needed an easy one. But I promise my next video will be a styling video. If you would like to see my face again, then make sure to subscribe right down below and hit that little bell to be notified every time I make a new video. And also don't forget to follow me on Instagram, which is alexsunshine83. I will see you in my next video, and I hope you have a super sunny day. Bye!